Singapore has moved to make it mandatory for people to wear masks as soon as they leave the house. At the same time, there are now 3,252 COVID-19 infections in Singapore, with 334 new cases today. Cheryl Goh joins us live with the details. Cheryl, tell us about making the wearing of masks mandatory. Wearing a mask will be mandatory as of today or tomorrow.
Yes, that's right, Steve and Galanda. So basically it means that as long as you step out of your house, you will be required to wear a mask. But the multi-ministry task force did say that there are some exemptions to this, and these include children under the age of 2, as this has been recommended by medical experts for them to not wear masks. There's also one other exceptional situation, which is when you are doing strenuous activities like exercise or running outdoors. So you may remove your masks for the duration of that activity, but once you're done, the mask has to go back on. So Task Force Co-Chair Mr. Lawrence Wong said this was an update. Making the masks mandatory was an update to the previous advisory about masks for 2 reasons. And one is that those without symptoms or mild symptoms who may not realize that they're sick may be unconsciously spreading the virus. And the second is that there were already some indications of community spread here in Singapore. Now, you may recall that in January, in the early days of the virus, the task force did say that only those who are unwell should wear masks. But now that the reusable masks have been issued to everyone by the government, I believe that was wrapped up over the weekend, the rule is that everyone should be wearing a mask.
The main change had happened earlier when we updated our advice on masks based on the latest findings and medical advice or scientific evidence. What we are doing now is a next further step, just to make it mandatory and to take that extra protection and precautions so that anyone going out, right, in any setting, wear a mask. And I think that will be an extra precaution worth taking for all of us.
Well, there are more plans as well, that are going to be put in place. Can you tell us about those?
Yep, there's also plans to reduce the number of essential workers who are still out and about. So the task force did update that already close to 80% of Singapore's workforce are telecommuting or working from home. But there's still another 20% who are in essential services who continue to leave their homes to carry out their work. So these include people in the healthcare sector, of course, as well as the food and beverage, and even people like us here in the media. So Mr. Wong said that the goal is really to cut this 20% figure even further so that more people can stay at home. And he said that the task force will review each category of such essential services to see where they can make these further trims.
We are already not doing badly to be able to reduce the workforce that's still continuing to work, right? Not the telecommuting ones, the ones that are still out and about every day, to 20%. We want to go further than that so that we can further reduce the number of people who are out and about and minimize movement to as much as we can.
So Mr. Wong also stressed that authorities are still pursuing containment measures, and this includes rigorous contact tracing with regards to links to confirmed cases, as also quarantine and isolation measures. This approach to managing the virus has not changed, even as we see a considerable spike in new cases this past few days. He also did reiterate that the situation is moving very fluidly in unpredictable ways, but the government is also trying its best to constantly adapt and adjust to see how they can best manage the virus. So back to you.
All right, thanks for that update. Cheryl Goh with the latest on the COVID-19 situation in Singapore.